Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. Just a quick one because my voice is still not 100%. So I was watching this video about well-being and mindfulness, and it quoted the Serenity prayer, although it's interesting that they removed the God part from it. And in the Serenity prayers, it goes like something like this, that have the serenity, or God give me the serenity to accept what I can't change, and to have the wisdom to change what I can. Was it? No, is it? No, it's have God grant me the serenity to change, to accept what I can't change. Is it strength to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, something like that. And then I was thinking about that statement, that idea, and the reason why we all get so complacent and why things don't change. Because I understand in a mindfulness and a well-being sense of someone who has, stress and, I know these things as well, I've had this, but, when thoughts are going around your head and all that kind of stuff, and that, you have to sort of try and, deal with the things you can deal with. I understand that, but the problem is the message itself it sends to anyone who knows about it, and most people have heard of this Serenity prayer, or this concept, is that if you ask people, about it, like I always give that example of my dad when I would ask him about why they don't print money or why they don't, feed homeless people or whatever, and he would just say, that this is the way it is. It's not so simple as just printing money. But it is just as simple as that. It is if you want it to be. If you don't want to, if there's things that you're holding on to, the thrones that you're holding on to don't matter more. So what interested me is this concept of serenity, of accepting what you can't change. In the grander scheme of things, this is why people don't change things, why we're all day on, day out, watching, walking past. We all do it, walk past people on the streets. Sometimes we'll give money, sometimes ask for a sandwich or whatever. Sometimes you think they're just doing it for drugs, maybe they are. But there's some people that are homeless. And everyone's genuine in the case that they don't have a place because of the system that we live within. And we just think, okay, well, that's just the way it is. We don't make a change. We don't, get on the streets for all these people that are suffering. We watch movies, we watch documentaries, we watch the news that shows massacres, that show people in different parts of the land that's been divided because we're given it different names, who are suffering, who are dying of disease, who are dying of starvation, who are dying of needless wars. I was watching a BBC thing about detectives, and I started at the beginning of it where it was, I don't know what the case was, but it was, I think a father that was being tortured, and then the child said, "Did they kill Daddy?" Imagine that. Imagine your one life, and a child says something like that. It really touched me when I heard that. The world, the wicked world that we live in, where, like with the Israeli and Palestinian, the Jerusalem thing that's going on at the moment, the rockets going up in the air, hundreds of rockets from both sides, and maybe they're killing terrorists, maybe they're killing soldiers, or maybe they're also killing collateral damage, children. Imagine that's your one life, and you've always wanted a child, and you have a child, and then it gets killed by a bomb. I mean, from an Islamic point of view, I don't understand how anyone can use bombs, because in the, I don't know if it's in the Quran or in the Hadith, where it talks about how you can fight, that you can't harm trees, you can't harm water, you can't hold non-combatants, you can't, there's lots of rules of war, and it has to be defensive. And you could argue maybe, that they're freedom fighters and it's apartheid in Israel. But the fact is, bombs are indiscriminate. They're a Western design. So Muslims should never be using bombs and rockets, because you can't, make sure that you kill the person that you're going to kill. The same as like, if you're a suicide bomber and you're in the middle of a crowd, you're going to kill innocent people. That's why, rockets and bombs and stuff like that, they're haram when it comes to Islam. So I'm not unclear why organisations who claim to be doing things for Islam are using Western means of murder. They're not, and I assume, I don't know, but in Christianity, in Jewish law, whether they have the same kind of strict guidelines of who you can and can't kill and how warfare should be. You know, if it comes to that, when you have to fight, you're going to have to kill because you're defending something. Does it have the same kind of things? I assume it might have the same kind of things. So why are we using these weapons, these rockets? Because it's one thing to defend yourself. It's one thing if someone comes at you and wants to kill you and that you defend yourself. That's one thing. But to blow up a whole round of people and you don't know who could be there, and you can't just say, oh, well, I didn't know there was going to be children or collateral damage. No, not if you're religious. Not if you're claiming you're doing it for religion, for God. You can't have that kind of... No. So just what I'm really saying is this idea of that we all watch day in, day out, news things and all these things going on. And that's what we do. We all have this idea of that, oh, well, I have the wisdom of not getting stressed about this because I can't change it. And then, of course, what happens? Nothing gets changed and it carries on and people continue to die and things don't change. So I think the problem is with the Serenity prayers, it leads us into accepting and just going along with. I mean, that's a terrible thing, really, when so much blood is being shed around you. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless and peace.